welcome to NPS Now, your source for news and information about Norfolk Public Schools. I'm your host, Karen Tanner, and I have two very special guests with me here today. We have Pauleen Santillan. She's a 5th grader at the Academy for Discovery at Lakewood. And then we also have Jordan Botigliero. Yay! She is a science teacher at ADL as well. Welcome to you both for being here on NPS Now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm excited. This is celebration time. You have your awards on today. We're excited to have you here. We're going to talk about those nice medals you have around your neck. But this is your 3rd year in a row winning the district science fair. Tell me, why have you had so much success over the years?
Well, I feel like all the skills that I learned at school really helped me develop this idea and all the research I did, and all the support that I got from school and my family.
Wow, so tell us about your science project this year and what inspired you to do it.
Well, my science fair project this year was which method of washing of vegetables will get rid of the most bacteria. And what inspired me to do this year was that my mom usually buys pre-washed vegetables from the store, but she doesn't really wash or clean them before she uses it. So I wanted to find out if this was really safe to do before you consume it.
Why do you think your project was chosen as a winner?
I think that the judges saw that I applied the scientific method steps to this kind of situation, and that I branched out from my other bacterial investigations from 3rd and 4th grade.
What did you learn from that project?
I learned that it's not safe to just eat pre-washed vegetables alone without really washing them or preparing them, and that the pre-washed vegetables did have the least amount of bacteria and the unwashed vegetables had the most amount of bacteria.
So tell me, what did you think about this project this year?
I was very intrigued. I was excited to hear the results because I also do not wash my pre-washed vegetables before consuming them. If they're pre-washed, I assume that they're great, and so now I know.
Wow. So why do you think Jordan has had so much success over the years with her science fair projects?
Pauleen really has a passion for science. She really enjoys using science and discovering information for herself, and I think that shows.
So Pauleen, how did your science class inspire you to do this project?
Well, like all the skills that we learned from school to like the projects and the investigations we did and all the writing prompts and my teachers, because they encouraged me to ask questions, and a good science fair project starts with a good question.
So were you surprised by the results of her project?
No, I wasn't. She's always very thorough. She always has good results, good science backing herself.
So what are some of the things you're doing in the classroom to challenge the children to want to do projects such as this?
We do a lot of scientific investigations, and I encourage them to ask a lot of questions in class, and not just to rely on me for answers, but to investigate themselves and find their answers for themselves.
So being that this is your 3rd year, what were some of the other projects that you won?
So in 3rd grade I won which school surface had the most amount of bacteria, and in 4th grade I also did the 5-second rule.
Wow, so what did you learn from the 5-second rule?
That it's still not safe to eat food from the floor even before 5 seconds.
I bet your classmates were intrigued by that, weren't they?
Yes.
Did they thank you for that information?
Yeah.
Good. So what did you think your students thought about some of the projects that she's done in your class, or this particular project?
I think that they're interested in it, and that seeing what she can do inspires them to do more and to branch out from their typical ideas.
Yeah, so tell me about some of the scientific investigations you've done in your classroom. What does that look like?
We do all sorts of things. We do a lot of what the kids are interested in. And so we'll break it down and we'll go through all of the steps of the scientific method so they have practice with that.
So you get like what she's looking at, cleanliness to, like I shared earlier about the tooth decay thing. So is that some of the projects your students are working on? Or?
It depends on the materials that we have available to us, but yeah, that's what the goal is, yes.
Pauleen, why were you so confident about this project this year?
Well, I think that my project this year can impact a bigger situation than my projects in 3rd grade and 4th grade, so I was a little bit more confident about that.
Yeah, 3 times is a charm. You have 3 medals, so how did you feel when you found out you won for a 3rd time?
I was very happy and I was very proud, and I was just so proud of myself, and I thought that this was a really good path that I'm starting to take.
So you felt better about this win than the other 2 wins, or was it equally the same?
I felt a little bit better this win.
You said, look, it sounds like she's got it on pack here. So are students coming to you and saying, hey, Pauleen, we need some tips?
Yeah.
So what do you tell them?
I tell them that they should just, for their science projects, they should just do what they really enjoy the most and what they're really passionate about, because when you do something that you enjoy more, then you'll be more engaged about it and interested.
Jordan, why do you think it's important for students to compete in a science fair project such as these? And she's been doing it for 3 years and been very successful.
I think students can be inspired by what other students can do. I think a lot of times students get overwhelmed and they think that that's something that they can't do at their age. And seeing what other students are able to do helps them reach higher than what they thought.
How does it help them to, in science, to learn more about science?
It really encourages asking more questions. Like Pauleen has gone 3 years and changed her questions just a little bit to help further that. And so I think that that can help them to realize that science builds on each other, and it's not just one question and you're done. It keeps going.
So it creates better excitement for them in the field of science?
Yes. When they're able to find things for themselves, they get more excited about what they're doing.
What advice would you give another student who is interested in a science fair and wanting to get 3 medals like you? What would you tell them to do?
Well, I would tell them that to feel it's not just like something like an assignment at school that you just want to get over with. It's something that you want to share what you've learned and what you've done with other people.
And apply it, because now I'm going to make sure I wash my pre-washed vegetables too. Thank you both for coming on the show, and congratulations to you. You have inspired some other students, and I know they're going to want to try to get that 4th medal. So great for coming on the show. Thank you very much.
Thank
you.
And we want you to stay tuned for more NPS Now.
Maury and Lake Taylor High Schools recognized Signing Day with programs that highlighted accomplishments by their student athletes. Lake Taylor had 3 members of their state runner-up football team signed to the next level. Tavion Copeland will go to UNC Pembroke. Corey Holloway chose Shepherd College, and Javon Harvey will play at ODU. Holloway feels Shepherd will give him a leg up on his dream.
Me moving forward, this means a lot. I want to go in college and start my own business so I can learn more tips and rules and more game about the business.
Harvey originally committed to Old Dominion, then reopened his recruiting process, but ultimately signed as a Monarch.
I felt like I had committed too early and didn't value my options. And then I wanted to, other schools came in the mix, and I wanted to take a lot of visits to really explore my options. And really getting back in the picture, well, they really never left. I still kept them number 1 because I knew that was a great place to be. Like, great staff, great coaches, and it just felt like home.
At Maury, 8 student athletes signed the dotted line. Amongst them was Ben Capehart, who signed with VMI to play baseball.
I felt pretty good. I was a little nervous seeing everybody, but it was really awesome to sign in front of all my peers and have them support me in this decision. I felt like it was the right place for me, and plus the benefits of graduating and having plenty of brothers that I can call my buddies once I do graduate.
Malia Mariano, who chose to play soccer here at home at Old Dominion, had some words of advice for the next class of student athletes.
I would just say, don't put too much pressure on it. You find the school that's the best fit for you, and they will want you for the talent you have. And you just got to keep pushing and work hard in school because that's #1. So, got to get good grades to make the school.
Here's a look at all who signed. The boys swim team at Maury made history, winning their first ever regional title.
It felt pretty good. I think the guys were more excited than I was, which is what you always want. We just come out there, put them in a good position. It was their meet, it was their day. I was just glad I could be there to help them wherever I could.
Maury was paced by 200-yard individual medley champ Kobe Gwynn, Sean Roca, who won the 100-yard backstroke, and sophomore Blake Johnson, who won the 100-yard breaststroke and 500-yard freestyle.
It felt really good. After the individual title, I was happy for my victory as an individual, but I was more concerned with the points going towards the team because the region's been dominated by Chesapeake and Virginia Beach schools since before 2000, and it was just nice to give Norfolk a chance to get a victory.
With talent, chemistry, and the right balance, Coach Fox thought this team could make their mark this season.
Yeah, I expected us to pretty much compete for the region. I did not know it could happen. I didn't know that we'd have the dive teams and they would score almost 50 points for us, which was huge. And then we won the regional meet by 70-something, so it was pretty exciting. Like I said, I had high hopes, but I didn't think it'd be quite where we were here yet.
Lake Taylor advanced to the state tournament for the 3rd year in a row with a convincing win over Jamestown.
It's really rewarding. We've been putting in a lot of work, especially from last year and our loss to the championship. So I feel like we got a chance this year, and it feels good to get here.
The Titans' defense was too much for Jamestown to handle as they forced the Eagles into 31 turnovers. Janiah Quinterly led the way with 28 points, with Shaniqua Gilliam and Jasmine Doster chipping in 14 apiece. Being one of the favorites to get back to the state tournament hasn't been an issue for this team.
It wasn't more so pressure, it was more like redemption. We put in a lot of work last year, and then we got ahead of ourselves at state championship. So now it feels like we got to get back there and correct ourselves.
The Lady Titans continued their winning ways by capturing the region title over Deep Creek. Lake Taylor's boys will continue their quest for back-to-back state titles as they won the region title over Churchland. In spite of a sub-500 regular season record, Coach Kenny Brown and his boys got hot at the right time, won 4 in a row as they booked their ticket to the state quarterfinals. Norview and Maury went down to the wire for a state tournament berth at Scope. Clarence Rupert made 2 free throws with 2 seconds left as the Commodores edged the Pilots 52-51.
It was real good. I can breathe now. I mean, that was a tight game, man. I knew they was going to come play us hard, you know, but it was an awesome game. I feel real proud of my guys, man. They didn't stop playing. They stayed together like we always talked about, and they just believe in each other so much. You know, I just feel like we can do anything.
I want a lot of pressure. I mean, Coach Lumber told me, he said, believe in your shot. That's what I did. I'm ecstatic right now because we haven't been past the first round in 2 years. So we can go all the way this time. I'm not letting my seniors go out without a rain, and I feel like we can do that, so that's what we're going to do.
Maury's girls track team won the regional title earlier this season, and they were looking for another first-place finish at the Class 5 state meet. Led by Junice Hasbury, Maeve Stiles, Shawnee Brooks, among others, the Lady Commodores kept it close to the end just getting edged out by Nansemond River by 8.5 points. Nevertheless, Coach Iman Islam was more than proud of his team.
I feel real good. It was just a real good blessing to have a young team to be able to come out and perform this year. I mean, we've had our ups and downs from kids leaving, kids getting hurt. So just to be able to finish where we finished, as you can see my voice, I've been excited and elated for a couple weeks, man. I couldn't ask for a better team.
Asbury, who came in second in the long jump, won her first state championship in the 55-meter dash.
I feel really good because, I mean, my freshman year, my sophomore year, I came to states. I was placing maybe in like relays and stuff, but never in an individual event. And today I came out and actually won the state title and the 55, and I was just, even though it wasn't a time I wanted to run, but it was still, like, achieving is still good, and it was a good feeling.
More on Maury girls track in upcoming weeks on NPS Now. There were other student athletes from around the district that performed well on the track. Let's take a look at some results.
Welcome back to NPS Now. I have two very special guests in here with us today. First, we have Abbi Michael. She's a 7th grader from the Academy of International Studies at Rosemont, and her science teacher, Paul Jones. Thank you both for joining us on NPS Now.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, Science Fair time of the year. I had one on earlier to talk about her 3 years of winning. So, Abbi, tell me, have you been a part of the district science fair? And if so, how long have you been involved in this?
I was also in the district science fair when I was in 5th grade, and then I got in again today, for this
go around
year.
So tell me about your science fair project.
This year it was would the propulsion of the robot affect its efficiency or speed.
Oh, that sounds interesting. What made you pick that topic?
I just like engineering, and I have had this robot kit for like 5 years. It's just like a Mindstorm kit.
So you all were doing PowerPoint presentations. How did that go? What was that like?
It was kind of easier than making it on a board and having to glue everything down.
So it was easier for you to do a PowerPoint as opposed to doing the actual project itself?
Yeah.
What did you think about her project, Paul?
I thought it was great. It definitely touched on all of the STEM disciplines. It incorporated engineering, design, technology, as well as math.
Why do you think she won?
Well, I think just because what I just mentioned, those STEM components are very important as part of what we do as teachers, particularly science teachers. We want the students to be able to incorporate those components and those disciplines. And Abbi, I believe, knocked it out the park by touching on literally everyone.
How did you all prepare her for the oral presentation?
Well, she presented to a few teachers at the school, and we just gave her some feedback, and the rest was all Abbi.
Wow. So how did what you learned in science class assist or inspire you to do this project?
We kind of learned about how you have to have all the kinds of energy, and you need different things to make certain things do other things.
So how did you encourage her in the classroom to want to do this type of project and the students to do their projects?
Well, just in general, first off, I let the students know that they can take risks, intellectual risks in my class. I have them set up in collaborative structures or groups, and they're able to have discourse with each other to solve problems, answer scientific investigations, and to create products.
Yeah. Is he quite helpful to you all in the class?
Yeah.
How does he help you?
He gives us a lot of he just helps us answer our questions and work out our problems and our assignments.
So how did you think your presentation went with the judges?
I think it was good, but I think I could have done a lot better.
Oh, well, tell me what you think you did good.
I think I made that contact. I spoke clearly enough, but kind of looked at my board a lot.
So what did you want to improve on?
Try looking at my board less and practicing it a little more.
It's a lot to remember, though, and it's pretty.
Yeah.
It sounded like a pretty high-tech type of presentation that she had.
It was.
Yeah. So, how did you react, or how did you feel when you discovered you won?
I was kind of shocked and excited at the same time. I was like, "Yay, I won!"
What did you think about her winning?
Well, the teacher that judged her project with me at school, we knew we had a winner.
Really?
Again, the way that she presented the project, the actual authenticity of the project itself, yeah, we kind of figured she would perform well.
Well, he just kind of talked about why he thinks you won. Why do you think you won?
I think because I presented it clearly. I looked at them, I gave them a project, and I gave them a lot of examples, and I just explained it well.
Yeah, so what were your findings from the project?
I found out that after I tested it, the kind of propulsions, the treads and the wheels of the project, that after I tested it, the wheels were still faster, even though I thought the treads would, from my hypothesis.
Okay, so tell us, what was the title of your project again, and then what was the end result?
It was with the propulsions affect the efficiency/speed of the robot, and my hypothesis was rejected as the treads were actually slower than the wheels on the rough terrain.
So what do you want to do? So you just talked about the STEM pieces. What do you want to do when you graduate from high school?
When I graduate from high school, I'll probably go to college and get some engineering degree so I can be an engineer.
Yes, you rock, because that's what we're doing. We're exposing our young girls to engineering. What do you think about that concept?
I think it's great. You know, we always push our students to understand the world around us, the nature of science, and what better way to understand that than to do hands-on exploration, hands-on investigations, and we're very proud of Abby for being able to accomplish all of those feats.
So you think she has what it takes to be an engineer?
Absolutely.
Okay. You hear that? Your teacher has confidence in you, and I'm sure mom and dad do too.
Yeah.
So tell me something, Paul. Why is it important for students to compete against one another?
Well, I think competition brings out the best in all of us. Students get a chance to see what their peers are creating, what their peers are thinking, and it allows for that self-reflection. Again, taking part in an event such as that takes everything to the next level.
So did you all have healthy competition there in your class with your students?
We did, absolutely,
classmates?
yes.
Yeah, so were they surprised that you won?
Yeah.
What was some of their thoughts?
They're like, yeah, that's my friend.
Oh, everybody know you now, right?
Oh yeah, the class erupted when the announcement was made.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Did you get a chance to see some of the other presentations of the other students?
No, we had just went one at a time, and we just came out and we were like, well, good luck to you.
So how does Science Fair help students learn more about science?
Again, going back to that whole idea of exploring through investigations, manipulations, and competition, questioning other students, questioning facts that are presented, and just taking on that challenge to find the answer for yourself.
Right, so being a Science Fair winner, does this encourage you to want to do more and be more deeper into science and learn more about science and technology?
Yeah. I do really enjoy the STEM activities and stuff that we do in class, and yeah, I really do like science.
So you are a superstar now. Well, congratulations to you both for your winning the district science fair and for you helping her along the way in this competition. So congratulations, and thank you both for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and we want to thank you for watching NPS Now. It airs weekly on WNPS, Channel 47, or you can view us online at www.npsk12.com. If you have any great story ideas or events happening at your school, email us at npsnews@npsk12.com. Again, we want to thank you for watching NPS Now.